At your own wedding ceremony, you played a racy, age-inappropriate video. At first, all relatives and friends thought you were super wild. But when they took a closer look, they found that the female lead in the video was actually today's bride Liu Ruyan. But the male lead was not you. Right when everyone was totally shocked, they realized that bride Liu Ruyan hadn't even shown up yet. Under the confused gazes of all relatives and friends, you held a microphone in one hand and dialed Liu Ruyan's number with the other. She didn't answer the first call. You didn't give up and called again. This time, after the phone rang a few times, it was finally picked up. You could clearly hear honking from the other end of the line. Even the guests on site could clearly hear the roar of the engine. Everyone was whispering among themselves. Why did Liu Ruyan drive out? Is the young lady of the Liu family gonna run from the wedding? You asked calmly. Where are you? Why did you leave? Liu Ruyan said impatiently. I have something important to deal with. We can hold the engagement banquet later. You pressed on. What kind of important thing could be more important than our engagement banquet? Then Liu Ruyan's annoyed and impatient voice came through the phone. I said we'll reschedule it later. I'm driving right now. Gotta hang up first. You roared angrily. You think we can reschedule whenever you say, what do you take the entire venue and guests who traveled all the way here for anyway? And what do you take the Chen family for? I spent half a year preparing this engagement banquet. You think just saying reschedule makes this okay? Finally, you even said something that would ruin your own reputation. Reschedule with who? Am I still the groom? As soon as you said that, the whole venue went dead silent. Liu Ruyan was also startled. She couldn't help wondering if this was still that simp Chen Mo. Chen Mo, what nonsense are you talking about? Are you trying to call off the engagement? I'm afraid the one who wants to call it off isn't me. I already told you. I have to rush to the hospital right now. Someone there is waiting for me to save their life. You chuckled coldly. Are you a doctor or something? You can save people just by showing up. Then tell me who's lying in the hospital. Is he about to die? Can't he even wait for a single minute? You have to leave right when the ceremony is happening. The crowd below the stage, even the Liu family was confused. At such a critical moment. Who has that kind of charm? To make the aloof young lady of the Liu family leave at this time and drive to the hospital by herself. Then you heard Liu Ruyan say coldly, my assistant, Ye Fan. As soon as they heard these two words, the crowd below the stage completely erupted. Isn't Ye Fan President Liu's assistant? President Liu hired him personally right after graduation. Rumor has it Ye Fan is extremely handsome. He's very close with the young lady of the Liu family. Just like a pair of besties. Who has a male bestie in a wealthy family anyway? Seeing everyone whispering around. Liu Huiqin, the old lady of the Liu family, couldn't sit still anymore and immediately sent people up to grab your phone. But you already had a plan for that. You spent 10 yuan to hire 200 young goons to guard every level. You continued to ask, what happened to him? Did he catch a cold or have a fever this time? Or did he get hit by a bicycle? I've always suspected your relationship. Who exactly is the president of the Liu family? If he's just a lowly assistant, how could he make the young lady of the Liu family abandon her fiancé and rush over to wait on him hand and foot? Chen Mo, can you stop making sarcastic comments? He's both my assistant and my friend. If you don't respect him, you're disrespecting me. Your heart skipped a beat when you heard that. Yeah, you know exactly the consequence of disrespecting this assistant. Family ruined and people dead, left dead on the spot. You died young all because of Ye Fan in your past life. Now that you're reborn, you will make this cheating couple's reputation crumble step by step and be shamed forever. Making them famous is the first step of your plan. At this point, you continued speaking. Looks like your friend is way more important than me, your fiancé. Since that's the case, make a choice. Who do you choose, me or Ye Fan? Liu Ruyan didn't expect you to say that and corner her like this. In her heart, she and Ye Fan are as close as siblings. How dare you make such nasty assumptions about their relationship? Answer me, who do you choose? You're still being super aggressive right now. Liu Ruyan is quietly weighing her options in her head. She realizes Ye Fan seems to understand her better. He always gives her everything she wants. She blurts it out without thinking. Ye Fan? Right after that, she hangs up the phone in a hurry. She speeds off and rushes straight to the hospital. But the second those words leave his mouth, he feels a weird, stinging pain in his chest for no reason. It feels like someone super important to him just left forever. Meanwhile, on the other side, all the relatives and friends off the stage, after hearing her choice with their own ears, no one is willing to speak up for her anymore. The whole cold, gorgeous goddess image everyone had of her is completely shattered. Old Mrs. Liu feels more humiliated than she ever has in her life. She's furious that Liu Ruyan is so useless and embarrassing. She's even more mad at you for not holding back at all. You even made a huge scene right in front of all these people. Right away, she calls over a Liu family servant standing nearby. Go get this ungrateful brat back for me right now. Immediately, do you hear me? If that Yev fan is already dead, whatever, let him stay dead. If he's not dead yet, make sure he actually gets hit and killed by a car. At the same time, Liu Ruyan has already arrived at the hospital. She's wearing a pure white wedding dress. She's running through the hospital hallways. No one has ever seen a bride in a wedding dress at a hospital before. Everyone is wondering what the hell is going on. Some of the boy-crazy girls there have already made up a whole story in their heads about a terrible car crash. This pretty girl's boyfriend must be super sick, right? He's got a terminal illness. He probably won't even make it through the night. That's why his girlfriend is wearing her wedding dress to see him one last time before he dies. As soon as they think of that, some of the girls can't wait to pull out their phones, take pictures, and post them online. In your past life, this exact online post blew up and went viral. Once the identities of everyone involved were made public, you got labeled as a cuckold for the rest of your life. In your past life, after Liu Ruyan ran away from the wedding, even though the Liu family punished Liu Ruyan severely and planned to get rid of Ye Fan, Liu Ruyan threatened to kill herself if they hurt him, so she saved his life. And you, the total simp, obviously chose to forgive her. Your love was twisted by the keyboard warriors online into you being a spoiled rich brat who stole someone else's girlfriend, used your family's power to bully the Liu family, forced them to marry their daughter to you, and broke up Liu Ruyan and Ye Fan. Ye Fan, on the other hand, was portrayed as the tough male lead of a power fantasy novel. Even though he was upset about the situation, he still loved Liu Ruyan and always stayed by her side to protect her. To everyone else in the world, you were the straight-up evil villain. Liu Ruyan knew all of this was happening, but she never once tried to explain the truth to clear your name. She only ever cared about protecting Ye Fan's reputation. You didn't exist to her at all. Back at the wedding banquet right now, you're holding the microphone and speaking seriously to everyone off the stage. Since the eldest daughter of the Liu family has already made her choice, I'll be the bigger person and let her have what she wants. Liu Huiqin has no idea what you're about to say, but she can feel that something bad is about to happen. She's determined to stop you from saying anything else, no matter what. She drags her old, frail body over to the front of the stage and tries to stop you, saying, Chenmo, whatever this is, we're family, we can talk about this privately. Ruyan is still young, she didn't know what she was doing. We will make sure she's punished properly. Now come down here and give me the microphone. You look at Liu Huiqin standing in front of you, the woman you've called grandma for so many years. You zone out for a second without even realizing it. The Chen family has never had a lot of family members. Long before you were even born, your grandfather and grandmother both passed away one after another. When you were in high school, your parents died in an accident too. The huge Chen family fortune ended up being left all to you, the only heir, to run. Back then, it was the Liu family that gave you care and made you feel loved. But the Liu family never did that out of the goodness of their hearts. They had an ulterior motive. Their real plan was to take over all of the Chen family's businesses. Now that you've been reborn and get a second chance, there's no way you're gonna let that happen again. Old Mrs. Liu, your last name is Liu, mine is Chen. When were we ever family? Ever since your granddaughter made her choice. I'm not your grandson-in-law anymore. Yopan is... Right now I'm speaking to you as the head of the Chen family, not as anything else. When Liu Huiqin sees that playing the family card isn't working, she stares up at you on the stage in despair. You turn to face the crowd off the stage and speak with a regretful look on your face. I'm sorry, everyone. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to come to my engagement party. I know it's turned into a total mess. Like I said earlier, I'm happy to let the people who love each other be together, since Miss Liu already has someone she loves. How could I force her to marry me against her will? Starting today, Liu Ruyan and I are officially breaking off our engagement. As soon as you finish saying that, Qinhai, your former father-in-law-to-be, suddenly gets a burst of courage out of nowhere and runs straight up onto the stage, fiercely stops you from calling off the engagement. I don't agree. I absolutely don't agree. Chenmo, you have no right to make this decision. Mr. Qin, what reason do you have to disagree? Your daughter has already made her choice. She went after her own love. What do you expect me to do? Am I supposed to send someone to kidnap your daughter and lock her up? Things that are unethical or illegal. The Chen family will never do. My upbringing doesn't allow that either. Your words are clearly a slap in the face to the Liu family. You're basically saying the Liu family has no upbringing, that they raised a shameless daughter. Qinhai's face turns red with anger. He continues. Chenmo, Ruyan definitely didn't know about this, that her choice would lead to the engagement being called off. If she knew, she would definitely come back. Just give her one more chance, okay? Faced with Chinhai's begging. You sneer. Slowly shake your head. Mr. Qin, how do you know I didn't give her a chance? She burned all her bridges herself. Have you forgotten the video played before the wedding started? Obviously, your daughter and Ye Fan have been messing around for ages. What's the point of your objection? Your new son-in-law is still lying in the hospital right now. I think you'd better go check on him. Oh, right, Mrs. Liu. Are you still looking for live-in sons-in-law for your third generation? If that's the case, you should have said so earlier. I would have backed out in time to avoid such a huge misunderstanding. None of the guests present expected that you would be so calm. You look totally like a true king. How could Chinhai let such a great son-in-law get away? He still wants to put up a fight. Walks to your side and whispers, Chenmo, that's how wealthy family marriages work. You do your own thing. I do mine. Ruyan has been with you for so many years. You can't just brush her off after all this time. She just made a stupid mistake on a whim. Just forgive her, okay? If you marry her, you basically get half of the Liu family's assets. For the sake of old times and all this wealth, just forget about calling off the engagement. You think to yourself, is this ex-father-in-law totally out of his mind? Things have gotten this bad already, and he still expects me to swallow my disgust. Besides, Liu Ruyan and I have always kept a proper relationship. Other than hugs and kisses, we never did anything more. I've been cuckolded once already. It will never happen a second time. The Chen family has more than enough money. We don't need anything from the Liu family. Perfect. I'm here to announce the second matter now. Starting today, the Chen family will no longer be a strategic partner of the Liu family. After the ongoing projects are completed, we will not sign any new project contracts with the Liu family. Now, not only is Chinhai stunned, Liu Huiqin can barely stand from shock. Overcome with anger and anxiety, Liu Huiqin faints straight onto the ground. Hurry, take the old lady to the hospital. The Liu family members hurriedly help Liu Huiqin up and take her away from the scene. Seeing this, Chinhai shakes his head hard and leaves as well. You stay at the scene to calm down all the guests. Late at night, after everyone has left, the noise dies down. The Chen residence is quiet again. But under this calm surface, hidden turmoil is brewing. You and Shen Yuchu go back to the living room. You both drink hangover relief tea. Neither of you says a word. Shen Yuchu is like a late autumn rose, not overly showy, but she gives off an irresistible charm. If Liu Ruyan is an iceberg snow lotus, then Shen Yuchu is more like a black rose. Shen Yuchu is 3 or 4 years older than you. Not long after the Chen family adopted her, Mom got pregnant with you. Even though the Chen family had you later, they never treated adopted daughter Shen Yuchu badly. They still raised her like a biological daughter. Finally, Shen Yuchu breaks the silence. Chenmo, are you really just gonna let this go? Liu Ruyan treated you like this. I really can't stand it. How could she betray your sincere feelings like that? Shen Yuchu starts crying as she speaks. You stop pretending you're okay too. Collapse onto the chair like you've lost all strength. Your eyes are empty. Sad, desperate, helpless, and disbelieving. Ever since you were reborn, you still can't believe Liu Ruyan would treat you like this. The humiliation from her running away from the wedding is just the tip of the iceberg. What you've endured is way more than what happened today. Compared to 10 years ago, when Liu Ruyan beat you into a vegetative state, just to get revenge for Ye Fan, you say to comfort her, Sis, this won't end here. Liu Ruyan is the least of our concerns. I'll make the Liu family pay for their choice. For a woman, what do you think matters the most? Before Shen Yuchu could answer, you went on speaking. Today I'll directly release all of Liu Ruyan's cheating photos to the public. Even if I hurt the enemy 1,000 points, I'll suffer 800 points of damage too. But Liu Ruyan will never be able to marry any rich young master for the rest of her life. The Liu family will never allow Liu Ruyan to stay with Ye Fan. We don't even have to lift a finger. The Liu family will deal with the two of them themselves. We only need to target the Liu family. I'll make the Liu family doomed forever. You said this viciously while gripping the teacup. Your eyes were full of violence and ferocity, and seething with killing intent. Shen Yuchu had never seen you like this before. She thought you had become a completely different person. All right, Chenmo. I will always support you. The Chen family will always be your backup. We'll make them pay back 10 times over. Shen Yuchu walked to your side and reached out to touch your forehead. Just like she did when you were little, you stared at this face you had missed so much. In your past life, after you became a vegetative state, Shen Yuchu came to take care of you every day. She did everything herself, from turning you over to massaging you. and told you what was happening outside by your ear. She would always pat your head at the end. You couldn't help standing up and hugging Shen Yuchu. You had no idea where Shen Yuchu was taken by Liu Ruyan in the last life, or what her ending was. You regretted falling for Liu Ruyan until your death, and letting her hurt your own family. You warned yourself, Shen Yuchu is the only person I can never let down in this life. You rested your head on Shen Yuchu's neck, breathing in that familiar scent. The feeling of getting back what you lost broke you completely. You cried out loud uncontrollably. Shen Yuchu was caught off guard by your sudden hug. Her delicate body went stiff. The two of them hadn't hugged since they grew up over all these years. You should know you were basically raised by Shen Yuchu. You followed Shen Yuchu everywhere since you were little, until you grew up and met Liu Ruyan. You distanced yourself from Shen Yuchu because of Liu Ruyan. Hearing your cries, Shen Yuchu thought you still couldn't get over Liu Ruyan. Her heart skipped a beat. She wrapped her arms around you and rubbed the back of your head, comforting this crybaby little brother just like when you were kids. You cried your heart out for a while and let out all the depression in your heart. You felt a lot better after that and looked a lot more energetic. Sis, you should rest early. We still have a lot of things to handle at the company tomorrow. You walked out after saying that. Where are you going this late at night? Are you really going out now? Shen Yuchu asked. I'm going to the wedding house. I have some things I need to get back. Those are my parents' keepsakes. I can't leave them to Liu Ruyan. You explained. Knowing you weren't going to look for Liu Ruyan out of regret, Shen Yuchu didn't say anything more. She arranged for someone to send you out of the Chen family residence. After you left, Shen Yuchu let out a cold snort. It's time we settle all scores with the Liu family. Shen Yuchu is no useless pretty vase. She was able to support the entire Chen family at the age of 22, and kept the Chen family standing strong all these years. That's enough to prove how capable she is. If you hadn't indulged Liu Ruyan in your last life, and directly took away Shen Yuchu's power, how could the Liu family have seized the Chen family's business, and let Liu Ruyan kidnap Shen Yuchu? Tianhai Pavilion is a villa community developed by the Liu family. Your wedding house with Liu Ruyan is right here. You opened the door and walked straight into the villa. Looking at this familiar yet strange room, all sorts of feelings welled up in your heart. A wave of sadness washed over you. Actually, you planned to live in the old Chen family residence after marriage. But Liu Ruyan didn't agree. She didn't like the decoration style of the old house. And right then, this community developed by the Liu family was completed. Liu Ruyan asked you to buy the wedding house here. Villa number 1, the king property of Tianhai Pavilion. It sold for 150 million yuan. It was also because you took the lead to buy here. The originally sluggish property project was completely saved. Your wealthy friends all bought houses here one after another. After all, who wouldn't want to live close to the Chen family? Later, you spent another 50 million yuan on renovation. The decoration style was all arranged according to Liu Ruyan's preference. The renovation took half a year. You supervised the whole process the entire time. You thought this was, after all, the place where you two would live for the rest of your lives, so you couldn't tolerate a single flaw. But in the end, it all went to Yefan for free. After you became a paralyzed vegetative, you were sent back to the old Chen family residence by Liu Ruyan, and this place was given to Yefan by Liu Ruyan. Maybe that's exactly why Liu Ruyan wanted to give the wedding house to Yefan. That's why she sent you away. You have no idea after you became a vegetative state. The wedding house you carefully decorated brick by brick might have become the love nest of Liu Ruyan and Yefan. Did they fool around on your own wedding bed? That's why Shen Yuchu lost her cool and brought people to your place to fight. Beat Yefan until he was fully paralyzed, which also got Shen Yuchu killed. Thinking of all this, your heart feels like it's being stabbed. You spit out a mouthful of blood. Bright red blood spills on the white carpet of the living room. It looks super glaring. You also fainted on the ground from excessive grief. Hangcheng Central Hospital. Right now, Liu Ruyan has no idea that she is about to become the talk of the entire Hangcheng. She's sitting by Yefan's hospital bed, holding his hands tightly with both of hers. Looking at the pale Yefan lying on the bed, she feels extremely distressed. Luckily, Yefan is fine. He only has a few scrapes, no internal injuries, but he got knocked out from the impact, and he's still unconscious right now. Liu Ruyan has been sitting by the bed for over 2 hours, without blinking once. She has no clue what happened at the Chen family's old house, let alone that she's already famous all over Hangcheng, just not in a good way. Earlier, when she came to the hospital to find Yefan, someone posted the footage online. At first, netizens were all praising. They're moving an epic love story. Netizens were complimenting Liu Ruyan's looks and singing praises of their unwavering love at the same time. This whole thing blew up on feeds really fast. The internet was full of well wishes from netizens. But unfortunately, the narrative flipped really quickly. People who attended the planned engagement party knew the real story. They went online and started saying, "Ugh, please. What kind of nonsense is this? That's not what happened at all. This woman is Liu Ruyan, the eldest daughter of the Liu family in Hangcheng, and the guy in the hospital is her assistant Ye Fan. Tonight was supposed to be her engagement party with the Chen family's son. She abandoned her fiancé Chen Mo at the engagement scene. That's why she showed up at the hospital in her wedding gown, to see her secret lover that she can't tell anyone about. He's not her boyfriend, duh. A trashy couple like them, and you guys are here wishing them well. I must be blind. I'm so mad I could spit blood. This netizen posted everything that happened between you. Liu Ruyan and Ye Fan online in full detail. They also posted photos from the engagement party site. The photo clearly shows you standing alone on the stage, your handsome face full of loss and despair, and on the display screen behind the stage. It was exactly the photo of Liu Ruyan wearing pajamas with Ye Fan in a room. The timeline makes perfect sense, and the evidence is solid. It confirms that Liu Ruyan cheated on you with Ye Fan. Public opinion flipped completely instantly. Liu Ruyan has no idea the internet is already going crazy after she entered the hospital. She turned off her phone because people kept calling her non-stop. She was afraid it would disturb Ye Fan's rest. Another reason is she doesn't know how to explain this to her family and the Chen family, so she just turned off her phone to get some peace. In her mind, Chen Mo is just having a hard time accepting this for now. When she goes back and explains to him face to face, she'll be able to calm him down. As long as Chen Mo isn't mad and forgives her, the Liu family won't blame her either. Later, when she gets the chance, she'll make Chen Mo apologize properly and make him propose again. When she's in a good mood, she'll forgive Chen Mo for being so aggressive today, and then just marry him. How dare he make me choose? I'm ignoring him for a whole week this time. I need to teach him a lesson. How dare he disobey this princess? But I'll still marry him anyway. I'll have Ye Fan be the best man when the time comes. After we get married, I want to have 2 kids, one boy to take the Liu family name. That's settled. She's been with you for so many years. She's always been like this, no matter how awful the things she did were. As long as she stood in front of you, you'd forgive her. After all, she's the noble princess, and you're her loyal knight, right? But she's definitely overthinking it this time. Her knight is already dead. She killed him with her own hands. Liu Ruyan is still daydreaming. When the door is suddenly slammed open, Liu Ruyan jumps in shock, and Ye Fan on the bed also jolts from the scare, but he still doesn't wake up. Liu Ruyan is scared that Chen Mo came looking for her, so she's super tense right now. She doesn't notice that Ye Fan reacted weirdly. The person who came is Qin Hai. He brought a few bodyguards with him, walked into the ward with a solemn face. When Liu Ruyan saw it was Qin Hai, she immediately relaxed. Why are you here? Liu Ruyan's tone was cold, with not a single bit of respect for her father in her words. But Qin Hai seemed to have long gotten used to this. He didn't get annoyed either. He said slowly, Ruyan, your grandma fainted from anger. She's in the ward right next to yours now. Hurry up and go check on her. Hearing what Qin Hai said, Liu Ruyan quickly let go of Ye Fan's hand and stood up. How did grandma faint from anger? Why didn't you tell me earlier? What's wrong with Chen Mo? He can't even handle this little thing properly. He even made grandma faint from anger. Doesn't he know to calm grandma down first? Where is he? Did he come along too? I'm gonna question him properly about how he handled this whole mess. Liu Ruyan's gorgeous face was icy cold, her voice full of complaint. She didn't even glance at Qin Hai and walked straight out of the ward to find her grandma. She shifted all the blame onto you. It never crossed her mind she ran out on the engagement last minute. That caused all the follow-up problems. Of course, she had no idea yet. That right after she chose Ye Fan, you had already announced the engagement was off. Qin Hai didn't tell her that either. He just glanced coldly at Ye Fan lying on the hospital bed, sneered and said, stop faking it. I already used all these tricks back in the day. Ye Fan lay motionless on the bed, like he was actually unconscious. Qin Hai seemed to catch on to something, but he didn't call him out on it right away. He said to his bodyguards, you two stay here and watch him. Don't let him leave this room even one step. With that, Qin Hai also walked out. Right at this moment, Ye Fan's eyelids on the hospital bed twitched slightly, like he wanted to open them to see what was going on outside. He opened his eyes a crack and saw 2 tall, burly, dark figures, so he panicked immediately and kept pretending to be unconscious. Liu Ruyan got to the door. Sure enough, outside the next-door VIP ward were standing bodyguards from the Liu family, all with solemn expressions. When she walked into the ward, she saw her elderly grandma lying on the hospital bed, unconscious. She was so scared that she started crying again. She quickly asked Grandma's personal maid, Aunt Wang, "What's wrong with my grandma? How did this happen?" Aunt Wang hesitated to speak. She had worked for the Liu family for over 50 years and had stayed by Liu Huiqin's side since she was young. She watched Liu Ruyan grow up. She couldn't believe Liu Ruyan would do something so ridiculous and out of line. But now the facts were right in front of her. Their eldest miss had abandoned her fiancé and come to the hospital to see her assistant, right in the middle of the engagement banquet. Aunt Wang sighed and said softly, "Miss..." The matriarch fainted from a fit of anger. "She's fine. She'll wake up soon." Before Liu Ruyan could ask more questions, Liu Huiqin, who was lying on the bed, heard the noise and woke up. When Aunt Wang saw this, she hurried over to help Mrs. Liu sit up. Liu Ruyan also went over to help. "Grandma, are you okay? How are you feeling now? Where is Chen Mo? You even fainted. Didn't he come over with you?" Liu Ruyan didn't mention a single word about her running out on the engagement. She still had no idea that it was all because of her, that her grandma fainted from anger. Instead, she took it for granted that Chen Mo didn't take good care of Grandma. Grandma even ended up in the hospital, and he didn't even bother to come over. But Liu Huiqin pushed Liu Ruyan away harshly and said in disgust, "Stay away from me. I don't have a granddaughter like you." Now Liu Ruyan knew that what she did had come to light, but she still looked like she didn't care at all. "Grandma, what are you talking about? It's just an engagement banquet, right? We can just hold another one later. What's the big deal? I'll talk things through with Chen Mo. I'll call him right now and make him come apologize to you." After Liu Ruyan finished speaking, she took out her phone, turned it on, and was about to call Chen Mo. But Liu Huiqin stopped her immediately, because Liu Huiqin knew that Liu Ruyan still had no clue what had happened outside. Chen Mo had already announced that he was calling off the engagement. If Liu Ruyan kept talking in this tone and called him out of the blue, it would only do more harm than good and anger Chen Mo, and then there'll be no room for reconciliation at all. Don't call him yet. Let this old woman finish what she has to say first. Liu Ruyan definitely didn't dare to disobey her grandma right now. She obediently put away her phone. "Go ahead, Grandma." Liu Huiqin leaned against the hospital bed. Then she told Nanny Wang to go out and close the door. After Nanny Wang left, only Liu Huiqin and Liu Ruyan were left in the room. Liu Huiqin's expression changed instantly. She flew into a rage. She scolded severely. "Do you have any idea what you're doing? Do you think I'm too old and useless, that I can't control you anymore? How dare you do something that disgraces our family? You've completely shamed the entire Liu family." Liu Ruyan trembled violently from fright. Tears of grievance poured down like a broken floodgate. She had no idea what was going on, why Grandma was so mad at her. "Grandma, what did I do? Why are you scolding me like this? How did I disgrace our family? What's wrong with you? You have the nerve to ask me that. Tell me who's in the next ward. What's his status? What makes him qualified to stay in the top floor VIP ward?" Liu Huiqin got angrier as she spoke. She was already trying to save Liu Ruyan's face. If it were anyone else, she would have already screamed insults at them, even though Liu Ruyan and Chen Mo aren't married yet. They've been engaged for a long time. What Liu Ruyan is doing now is totally unvirtuous. Back in Liu Huiqin's time, a woman like this deserved to be drowned in a pig cage. Liu Ruyan was completely stunned by the questions. She never told her family about Yi Fan's existence. Except for Chen Mo, everyone else only knew Yi Fan. As her assistant, Liu Ruyan felt like she'd been betrayed. She asked hurriedly, "Grandma, how did you know Yi Fan is here? Did Chen Mo tell you that?" "How could he do this? I already made everything clear to him. Yi Fan and I have no improper relationship. Yi Fan is just my assistant. He's being so petty." Liu Huiqin laughed out of anger. "Assistant? What kind of assistant would make you leave your engagement party halfway? And what kind of assistant gets hospitalized and has the CEO stay to take care of him? Is this what a boss-assistant relationship looks like? Who would believe that if you told them? Do you think everyone else is an idiot?" Facing Liu Huiqin's relentless questioning, Liu Ruyan didn't know what to do. She didn't know how to explain to Liu Huiqin her relationship with Yi Fan, but she was sure it wasn't romantic love. What she felt for Yi Fan was more like family affection. Family affection without blood ties. But if she said that out loud, would Grandma believe her? Right now, only Chen Mo can fix this problem. As long as he comes forward to explain for her, Grandma will believe it. She wanted to call Chen Mo again to ask him to come over. Liu Huiqin didn't stop her when she saw that. She just said calmly, "Don't waste your time. I bet Chen Mo won't answer your call right now." Liu Ruyan didn't believe that. She called him right away But Chen Mo really didn't answer the call. Before, this would have never happened. Whenever she called Chen Mo, he'd pick up within 3 seconds. But today Liu Ruyan called 3 times in a row, and there was no answer at all. Oh, my dear granddaughter, let me tell you the truth. Liu Huiqin sighed deeply. She told Liu Ruyan everything that happened. After Chen Mo left, down to every last detail. From when Chen Mo called you, to when he made you choose, to when he finally announced he was breaking off the engagement with you. She just left out the part about the photos of Liu Ruyan and Ye Fan checking into a hotel. Liu Ruyan still couldn't take it. When Liu Ruyan heard Chen Mo publicly announce the broken engagement, she was completely dumbfounded. She looked totally in disbelief. That's impossible. He loves me so much. How could he cancel our engagement? No, I need to go find him. I need to ask him what he means. How dare he do this? With that, Liu Ruyan tried to run outside. Come back. What's the point of going now? Liu Huiqin looked at her granddaughter, who couldn't even tell right from wrong right now. She finally realized she had failed as an educator. Liu Ruyan was the one in the wrong here. Chen Mo just didn't spoil her anymore this time. Be honest with Grandma. What exactly is your relationship with that boy next door? How far have you two gone? Liu Ruyan was stunned by Grandma's question. Her eyes darted around nervously. She paused for a second, hesitated, then said, Grandma, what are you talking about? What relationship could Ye Fan and I have? You have to believe me. We're really just colleagues or friends at most. Don't listen to Chen Mo's nonsense. When I said I chose Ye Fan on the phone, I only meant that I was coming to the hospital. It's not that between Ye Fan and Chen Mo, I picked Ye Fan. Why would I ever give up on Chen Mo? That's totally impossible. Liu Ruyan was telling the truth this time. Back then, she was mostly provoked by your aggressive attitude. That she blurted out she'd choose Ye Fan without thinking. Thinking about it now, that line did sound off. Chen Mo was clearly setting a trap for her, waiting for Liu Ruyan to walk right into it. Liu Huiqin didn't buy Liu Ruyan's lies at all. She knew Liu Ruyan wasn't telling the truth. Liu Huiqin was extremely disappointed. Even at a time like this, Liu Ruyan was still trying to lie her way out. She was so angry that her chest ached. Liu Ruyan, at this point, you're still not telling the truth. Even I don't buy your explanation. Let alone all the guests present here. You need to understand, all the guests tonight are prominent figures. Many of them are business partners of our family. We have business dealings with them. If your cheating scandal is confirmed, how much loss will that bring to the Liu family? Liu Ruyan looked stunned and asked in shock, cheating? What cheating? Who told you I was cheating? Liu Huiqin didn't explain. She just took out her phone directly and sent her the photos of her and Ye Fan. Liu Ruyan opened the photos, her eyes wide with horror. Where did you get these? Who took these photos? Don't ask me where I got the photos. Let me tell you something. No matter if something happened between you two or not, that Ye Fan is as good as dead. Even if the Chen family doesn't take action, the Liu family will never let him live. He's the biggest stain on your life. Liu Ruyan was still recalling what happened in the photos. When she heard Liu Huiqin say she wanted to kill Ye Fan, she hurriedly stopped her and said, No, you can't hurt him. I won't allow it. If you kill him, you'll have to kill me first. Liu Huiqin collapsed onto the bed. Too angry to speak a word, Liu Ruyan didn't care about her grandma's expression. She urgently needed to figure out what was going on with these photos. I remember now, this was when Ye Fan and I went on a business trip last week. That night, he came to my room for work reasons. We were only discussing company matters in the room. In the end, he spilled coffee on me, so I had to change my clothes. You have to believe me. You raised me and taught me everything. How could I do something like that? Hearing what Liu Ruyan said, Liu Huiqin was half convinced. Although these photos didn't capture what happened inside the room, a man and a woman alone in a room in the middle of the night. And Liu Ruyan even changed into a nightgown to see Ye Fan out. No matter how you look at it, there's something fishy going on. Liu Ruyan's explanation simply doesn't hold up. Seeing that her grandma still didn't believe her, Liu Ruyan said directly, Grandma, if you still don't believe me, we're in the hospital right now. You can call a gynecologist in right now. I'll let her examine me right away. Let her see if I'm still a virgin. Hearing her granddaughter say that so confidently, Liu Huiqin believed her a little more. But she was even more confused. Her granddaughter and Ye Fan aren't even in a relationship. Why would Liu Ruyan protect Ye Fan like this? Liu Ruyan knew she couldn't hide the matter about Ye Fan anymore, so she had to tell the truth. Liu Ruyan said, Ye Fan started working at the Liu family's company a year ago. I thought Ye Fan was pretty good, so I transferred him to be my personal assistant directly. Gradually, I found Ye Fan very special, compared to other suitors who crazily pursued me, and Chen Mo who took care of me in every possible way. Ye Fan seemed like a total oddball. Also, 3 generations of women in the Liu family. There are no boys in the entire family. I've always wanted a younger brother since I was little, and Ye Fan's appearance just fulfilled that wish of mine. Over the past year, Liu Ruyan became more and more dependent on Ye Fan. She even met many of Ye Fan's unreasonable demands. After hearing this, Liu Huiqin almost wanted to slap Liu Ruyan across the face. Is this what a younger brother is? What kind of younger brother acts like that? You're not even blood related, yet you're that close with each other. Who would believe that if you tell anyone? Except for Chen Mo, that fool blinded by love. But he's not that stupid anymore now. He's sobered up. No wonder Chen Mo handled this. Matter so calmly, he's accumulated too much disappointment. Until he lost all hope entirely. Every time he trusted them, he only got worse treatment in return. That's why he publicly called off the engagement. Liu Huiqin beat her chest and stamped her feet in frustration. She wailed loudly. What sin did our Liu family ancestors commit? How did we end up with a granddaughter like you? Hearing her grandma's scolding, Liu Ruyan felt extremely wronged inside. Just then, there came a rapid knock on the door. Qinhai asked from outside the door, Mom, I have an urgent matter to report to you. Come in. Qinhai walked quickly to Liu Huiqin with a tablet in his hand. Mom, the issue about Ruyan has blown up online. Right now, public opinion is very unfavorable to us. What are we supposed to do now? Liu Huiqin hated how panicky he was acting, like he had no ability to make decisions at all. He's not even as steady as Chen Mo, a kid in his 20s. What are you panicking for? Look how useless you are. After being scolded by Liu Huiqin, Qinhai became even more submissive and servile. Liu Ruyan standing beside also gave him a contemptuous look. She disliked her father from the bottom of her heart. If the Liu family hadn't had no male heirs, her mother would never have married a man like him as a live-in son-in-law. He's even less calm than us women when things go wrong. Besides, Qinhai was totally useless. He couldn't even give the Liu family a son. After Liu Ruyan's mother passed away, the Liu family disliked Qinhai even more. Qinhai had long gotten used to this. He didn't get angry at all. Mom, you'd better take a look at this first. Liu Ruyan took the tablet and looked at it with Liu Huiqin. But they hadn't been looking for long. Liu Ruyan was trembling with anger. Liu Huiqin even fainted directly. She passed out from anger once again. Turns out this whole thing is getting worse and worse online. Public opinion is completely polarized. More and more people are sympathizing with Chen Mo, because many insiders have posted all the things Chen Mo did. For Liu Ruyan over these years online, some people even released the full list of betrothal gifts that the Chen family gave to the Liu family. When netizens saw this, they said this was totally inhumane. Now Liu Ruyan can't defend herself no matter what she says. Even if she claims she and Ye Fan are sworn siblings, who would believe her? Everyone is condemning Liu Ruyan, and the Liu family is also dragged into this. Some people are calling for action online to never use any products from the Liu family again. When the stock market opens tomorrow, everyone who holds Liu family stocks will sell off all their shares. It's pretty obvious that tomorrow will be a nightmare for the Liu family. If this matter can't be handled properly, the Liu family will never be able to recover. The stock price that rose only thanks to the resources they got from the Chen family over these years will drop sharply very soon. What do we do? Grandma, what do we do? Liu Ruyan finally tasted the bitter consequences of her own actions. Her own reputation is completely ruined, and the Liu family is also suffering along with her. They're calling us bad parents? What do we do? You're asking me what to do. How the hell would I know what to do? When you made that choice back then, why didn't you think this day would come? Slap. Old Mrs. Liu couldn't hold it back anymore. She slapped Liu Ruyan hard across the face. Liu Ruyan covered her face, crying bitterly. She was filled with grief and anger. Grandma, I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong. Will Chen Mo really not want me anymore? No, Grandma. I don't want to call off the engagement. I love him. I didn't betray him. I didn't cheat on him. Liu Ruyan is no longer that icy goddess, that pure snow lotus on the plateau. This time she looks like an abandoned pet, looking totally pathetic. You know you're wrong now. It's too late. If you wanted to mess around, you should have hidden it well. You were so high profile, like you were afraid everyone wouldn't know you. We're keeping a man outside. Happy now. You ruined your own life. And you've killed the Liu family, too. Looking at these comments, Liu Huiqin didn't believe at all that Liu Ruyan and Ye Fan were just sworn siblings. The old lady also started crying. She could already imagine. The Liu family's 100-year legacy is about to be destroyed. She hated Liu Ruyan. She hated Chen Mo even more for making this matter so big. Not only did he call off the engagement at the wedding, he also spread rumors online To cause public outrage, if Chen Mo knew he was blamed for this for no reason, he'd probably get so mad he'd spit up blood again. Just then, Chin Hai stepped forward. He said to the old lady, "Mom, what do you think we should do to handle this problem now? What else can we do now?" Chin Hai paused for a moment. After thinking, he said, "Mom, right now we need to proceed in 2 steps. First, we have to handle the online public opinion. We'll contact relevant people as soon as possible, block the spread of this news, and cover this whole incident up. The second step is to find Chen Mo right now, ask him to come forward and hold a press conference, and take all the blame for this." Liu Ruyan and Liu Huiqin looked at each other in shock. Both of these steps are really tricky. Knowing what to do is one thing. Figuring out how to pull it off is the real key, especially getting Chen Mo to step forward and take the blame on top of that. What did he even do wrong in this whole mess? Even Liu Ruyan can't think of any fault of his. Chin Hai laid out all his thoughts completely. The Liu grandma and granddaughter were frozen stunned. They never would have guessed. A good-for-nothing son-in-law and a weak, useless dad could come up with such a brilliant idea. Liu Huiqin was just scolding Chin Hai a minute ago for being flustered and immature, and now she's already got egg on her face. As for Chin Hai's 2 steps, first, the online public opinion part. That's really easy to handle. The Liu family has its own entertainment company. Hire a couple of A-list celebrities. Create some new hot trending topics. They'll definitely be juicier than the tea about Liu Ruyan. Netizens' attention will shift really quickly. Next, about Yifan's identity. The Liu family can just officially take him in, have Liu Huiqin formally adopt him as her god-grandson. That way, there will be no issue with Liu Ruyan and Yifan's status. Last, and the most important thing, we need Chen Mo to step forward and explain to the public that he was way too jealous and got carried away. He misunderstood the relationship between Yifan and Liu Ruyan and blew the whole thing out of proportion. It's all his fault. He will always trust Liu Ruyan and love her deeply, Qin Kai said. The first 2 things are easy to handle. The problem is Chen Mo might not cooperate. Liu Huiqin thought for a moment and immediately ordered Chin Hai. "I'm appointing you vice president of Liu Group right now. You are fully in charge of handling this matter. As for Chen Mo's side, Ruyan and I will figure that out. Go guide the public opinion work overnight right now." This is exactly what Chin Hai was waiting for. He agreed readily without any hesitation, grabbed his tablet and walked outside. As soon as Chin Hai left, Liu Huiqin asked seriously, "Liu Ruyan, tell me the truth. Did you sleep with Yifan or not?" Even up till now, Liu Huiqin still doesn't believe that Liu Ruyan and Yifan only have a pure sibling relationship. The younger brother Liu Ruyan recognized is more like a lover. Liu Ruyan never expected that even her grandma, who dotes on her most, doesn't believe her. "Grandma, you have to believe me. I really didn't sleep with Yifan. I only treat him as a younger brother. If you don't believe me, I can swear on my mother's memorial tablet." The mention of Liu Ruyan's mother made Liu Huiqin's expression change slightly. Even her eyes looked a little unnatural. "Fine, but just to be safe, you should go get a checkup. Bring the proof to explain to Chen Mo." What proof? Liu Ruyan had no idea what her grandma was talking about, until Liu Huiqin set her gaze on her abdomen. Then it finally clicked for her. Grandma was talking about a virginity test. An hour later, Liu Ruyan's face was flushed with shame. She headed to the Chen family's old house with the report. "She called you countless times along the way. You didn't answer any of the calls. Liu Ruyan didn't know if you were angry or just asleep." Just as Liu Ruyan was heading to the Chen family's place, "You finally woke up. Earlier you were so heartbroken that you spat up blood and fainted on the floor. This mouthful of blood is my farewell to the past. Liu Ruyan, I've cut you out of my heart completely. After spitting up blood, you felt way better all over. All your love for Liu Ruyan left with that blood. The figure that lingered in your heart for so long also disappeared. You looked at the brand new wedding room and mumbled, 'It's time to say goodbye to the past for good.' You took a bottle of red wine from the wine cabinet and drank straight from the bottle. You took a big gulp of wine, then slammed the wine bottle hard at the wedding photo. The bottle shattered. The wedding photo was completely ruined. Then you opened another bottle of wine, took a few sips and walked to the bedroom. You took down Liu Ruyan's wedding dress, poured wine all over the wedding dress, took out a lighter and lit it. This exquisitely made dress, that took 6 months to make, and was studded with lots of expensive jewelry, caught fire immediately. Back then, you wanted to throw Liu Ruyan a grand wedding. You even traveled all the way to Europe to get a court tailor to custom make it. But this wedding dress is useless now. You also brought over the photo frame of you two, and threw everything into the fire to burn together. The bright flame soon caught the attention of the Chen family's bodyguards at the door. He didn't dare enter the room and yelled loudly at the doorway, "Young master, are you all right?
Do you need us to come in?
Take all my belongings away first, then smash this entire place to pieces. You hated this wedding room so much. In your past life, you were badly injured here by Liu Ruyan and turned into a vegetative state. But this place later became where Ye Fan cheated with Liu Ruyan behind your back. You ignored them after that. You walked while drinking from a liquor bottle and left the place in no time. You kept sipping the alcohol. You had no clue where you were heading, even though you own properties all over Hangzhou. None of them feels like home to you. The wedding room is where Liu Ruyan cheated. The Chen family's old house is where Shen Yuchu was taken away. Every time you go back to these places, you can't help but think of these bad memories. It tortures you so bad you want to die. You walked alone on the street, like a wandering ghost, lonely and desolate. You're as miserable as a homeless stray dog, wandering aimlessly along the road, until the early hours of the morning. You were tired from walking. There just happened to be a 5-star hotel by the roadside. You stumbled towards the hotel all dizzy, and booked a presidential suite for yourself. After getting the room card, you walked into the elevator alone. The presidential suite is on the 66th floor, the top floor, but the elevator stopped at around the 50th floor. Soon a woman with messy clothes and unsteady steps rushed into the elevator. She closed the elevator door immediately after getting in, as if there was something terrifying chasing after her from behind. You squinted and looked the woman up and down. She looked quite young, like a recent college graduate. She was tall and slim, wearing a milky white tight long dress that outlined her perfect figure curves. This woman in front of you is a rare, stunning beauty. She is even as pretty as Liu Ruyan. You looked away after just one glance. You were really drunk at the moment and feeling extremely uncomfortable. You badly needed to lie down and rest. But the woman who just came in seemed even more drunk than you. She was staggering about to fall. Her jade white arm couldn't grab the handrail, and she fell straight towards you. You instinctively reached out to hold her steady. The moment your skin touched, you felt like you were holding a piece of Hotan jade. Her skin was super delicate, soft and glowing. Your heart couldn't help but skip a beat. The woman leaned in your arms and mumbled, "Save me. Please save me." You soon realized something was off. This woman's body temperature was unusually high. There were abnormal red spots on her snow-white skin. Before you could react, the woman in your arms tilted her head up and kissed you. She wrapped her arms around your neck and pulled you down hard. You tried your best to hold her still. As soon as the elevator reached your floor, you rushed out and carried her straight to your room. After entering the room, the woman in your arms got even more impatient. She frantically tore at her clothes and yours. Miss! Shut up and kiss me." Your mouth was blocked immediately. You looked at the stunning beauty right in front of you. You were already drunk and lightheaded. How could you resist such temptation? You closed your eyes and gave in to the moment. You two were getting hot and heavy in the hotel, while Liu Ruyan got turned away from the Chen family's old house. But after she begged over and over again, the housekeeper Uncle Li finally told her that you went back to the wedding room. After Liu Ruyan heard that, she rushed to the wedding room nonstop. "Chenmo must still have feelings for me. He's waiting for me at the wedding room." Liu Ruyan was over the moon at this thought and felt a lot more relaxed. When Liu Ruyan arrived at the wedding room, you were already long gone. There were only a few bodyguards in the whole wedding room. They were swinging baseball bats, smashing all the decorations inside. Liu Ruyan was so angry she almost passed out and yelled at the top of her lungs, "Stop! What the hell are you doing? Who told you to smash this place? Get out of here right now." The bodyguards obviously knew who Liu Ruyan was. She almost became the mistress of this place. The bodyguards replied, "The young master told us to smash it. They don't know who to listen to either. What if you end up getting back together with Liu Ruyan? They might get punished later, right? This is so annoying. Don't make me say it twice. Get lost now." Seeing this, the bodyguards had to drop their batons and leave. After the bodyguards left, he collapsed onto the ground. This time he truly realized, you were dead serious? You weren't just throwing a tantrum. You really wanted to break up with him. "Chenmo, why? Why won't you even give me a chance to explain?" Liu Ruyan sat on the carpet in agony. Soon she spotted the pool of blood on the carpet. Bright red blood was splattered all over the white, fluffy rug. It looked exceptionally glaring. He vomited blood. Chenmo was the one who vomited blood. What on earth did I do? How did I make him this mad? Liu Ruyan sat on the ground at a loss, sobbing bitterly. Right now she looked like a fallen leaf mercilessly swept by the autumn wind. Poignant and powerless, her eyes were filled with despair and grief. Inside the presidential suite, on that luxurious king-sized bed. You and that strange woman were still tangled up in passion, clinging to each other desperately. An hour later, the effect of the drug wore off completely for her. She went limp all over on the bed, and you also got your release, under the morning sunlight. She woke up first. She looked like a fully bloomed white lotus, pure and dazzling. She seemed even more holy and noble. The faint blush on her skin, just like the flush on a shy teenage girl's face, added a bit more charm to her. It also seemed to prove she had turned from a girl to a woman. Liu Mengyao looked at everything in front of her. She froze for a second, and then realized she was lying on a strange bed, and there was an unknown man next to her on the bed. Her first instinct was to scream, but she immediately covered her mouth with her hand. She was afraid of waking this man up and getting violated again. Turns out Liu Mengyao is a soon-to-graduate student from Shanghai Opera College. Before graduation, she had already signed with Hongyi Film and Television Company to debut. Yesterday, she was invited by her senior Jiang Ji to come to Hangzhou for a performance. After the performance ended, Jiang Ji took her to meet a few investors. Before they went, Jiang Ji had hinted to her to be more open tonight and make appropriate sacrifices. She never expected being open meant selling her body to please the sugar daddy with her body. Of course, she disagreed and tried to leave right away, but Jiang Ji wouldn't let her. Finally, Jiang Ji backed down a little and told her to toast a drink before leaving. She thought everything would be fine after drinking that glass of wine. She never expected that was just the start of the nightmare. That glass of wine was spiked. She quickly became disoriented and was sent to the suite waiting for the sugar daddy. Luckily, she had a strong will. When the sugar daddy came in, she vomited all over him directly. While he went to take a shower, she got the chance to run out of the room, but she never expected that in the end she ended up with. Liu Mengyao looked at you who were fast asleep on the bed. Memories of last night slowly came back to her. Liu Mengyao finally remembered that she was the one who pushed you down. Thinking about the absurd night they had, Liu Mengyao's face turned bright red. What should I do? While she was still panicking, she glanced at you again and found that the man who took her virginity was really good looking. Liu Mengyao stared at your face. She whispered softly, "Luckily it's you. Fine, you got lucky. If it was that old pervert, I would definitely kill myself." Liu Mengyao got out of bed barefoot. Her fair and smooth skin looked just like a goddess from Greek mythology. She walked with light steps and carefully picked up her torn clothes from the floor and put them on messily, but they still couldn't cover her body properly. With no other choice, she had to put on your coat. She mumbled to herself, "I slept with him, and even took his coat away. Is that a bit immoral?" Liu Mengyao hesitated for a moment, took off the necklace around her neck and put it on the bedside table, and left a note as well. Finally, she said with a bitter smile, "Does this count as paying for sex?" Liu Mengyao covered her face, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. She wrapped herself tightly in your coat and then walked outside. But just as she reached the door, she stopped in her tracks. She turned around gracefully and gave a melancholy glance at you, who were sleeping like a log, as if she wanted to engrave your face deep in her memory. A moment later, she opened the door and left without hesitation. As for you, you slept till late in the morning before you woke up. When you woke up, there was no sign of Liu Mengyao anywhere. Only then did you realize she had left earlier. You looked toward the bedside table and spotted the necklace on it, along with that piece of paper. It read as follows: "A fleeting affair. Don't miss me, don't think of me. I took your coat with me. The necklace is compensation." You clenched the necklace in your palm, held it up to your nose, and sniffed it gently, savoring her unique scent on it. Finally, you saw the red blood stain on yesterday's bedsheet. A meaningful look crossed your face. You think you can sleep with me and run? No way. You took out your phone and called your bodyguard Liu Hao, the woman who was in my room last night. "I want all her info in an hour. Also, bring me a set of clothes." Before Liu Hao could reply, you hung up the phone, then headed to the bathroom to take a shower. Liu Hao on the other end of the line was scared half to death. "What? Someone broke into young master's room yesterday. Check the surveillance footage right now. Find out who exactly went into young master's room. You just finished washing up." When the bodyguard held a change of clothes and a stack of documents standing at the door. "What did you find out?" "You didn't look at the documents. You asked while putting on your clothes." The bodyguard Liu Hao said, "Young master, we found out the woman who came into the room with you last night is named Liu Mengyao. She's still a college student right now, studying at the well-known Modu Opera Academy. She was invited to Hangzhou for a performance yesterday. She was drugged at the banquet after the performance. Where is she now? She left on the high-speed rail early this morning. She's already arrived in Modu now. You asked who the inviter was. We found out. His name is Zhang Jie. He also graduated from the Opera Academy and is Liu Mengyao Sr., so he's the one who drugged Liu Mengyao. Liu Hao said firmly. That's most likely the case. Even if it wasn't him, he's still an accomplice, in charge of making connections. You snorted coldly, your face full of murderous intent. Making connections. To put it bluntly, he's a pimp. Who was he going to send Liu Mengyao to sleep with? Liu Hao said awkwardly. You know, this person, you're quite close to him. You just put on your coat. When you heard Liu Hao say you actually know this person, you looked extremely surprised. What? I know him. Tell me who he is. I can't believe I know a scumbag like that. Liu Hao glanced at you awkwardly. He stammered. It's Third Master Qin. Who is Third Master Qin? You couldn't remember who he was for a moment.